Writers, it's Kaylin Shaner, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I actually filmed this video once before my hiatus, and so I looked completely, okay, not completely different, it's not like I got plastic surgery or anything, but like, my hair is completely different, and my weight has fluctuated, and I'm just a different human being than I was when I filmed the video previously. And also, I lost the footage from that video because I was thinking about, okay, do I re-record this, or do I just post the old video, which is what I did with the Totally Should've book tag, because it was there, it was ready to go, I'd had fun filming it, and you know, I had other stuff I wanted to get to. So that was the debate going on in my head about this video. And then when I went to check about where the video was saved on my computer, it wasn't there. The footage had been wiped from my camera. Apparently I'd forgotten it was on there and hit delete all. So, get some re-recording. Yay! But that's fine. So basically what it all boils down to is I have a novel coming out on September 2nd, Labor Day 2019, and I'm super excited. And I may or may not have already published it. So, we are going to jump into the nitty-gritty details of me publishing my book, unpublishing it, and republishing it. And it all sounds super sketchy and shady, and I'm not a fan of how things went down. But I am committed to this, so just bear with me. Just ride this sweet, glorious ride, and see where we come out on the other side. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. So I wrote a book in high school. I started it in sophomore year. I remember the exact moment I thought of the concept in biology class in 10th grade, and it took me about a year to write. I then, over the rest of my high school career, wrote 2 more full-length novels. Now this was on the heels of my Twilight phase, which I have since stopped liking, and then started reliking. It's sort of this thing. But it was on the heels of me first being introduced to Twilight and being super into that, and then falling even more head over heels in love with Stephenie Meyer's The Host novel, which is still to this day in my top 3 favorite books. I've like reread that thing like 20 times. But those books are huge, especially Twilight for a debut novel, for an unpublished author. I can't quite remember. I think it was 130,000 words, which is just massive. Standard is usually 60K to 80K. 90K isn't that bad. According to the research that I've done in the last decade, agents don't generally want to accept novels that are over 100,000 words. But I was convinced I was gonna be one of the ones to write this super huge, massive book, and it was gonna be so great that I just have agents falling over, you know, tripping over themselves trying to get me to sign with them. So I went ahead and wrote, I think the first one was 130,000. It might have been 140,000 words. So this fucker was huge. And then the following novels that I wrote in a series that I was building from this were very similar length. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they were high. And I was gonna be a published author someday, and then life happened, and I graduated, and I got too scared to go to college. I didn't know anything about loans. I don't know if my dad didn't know anything about them because he hadn't gone, or if he just assumed I knew what I was doing because millennials figure all this tech shit out, so they should know this. I don't know what. I don't know what happened. But my dad really, my single dad, wasn't really there in terms of explaining the process to me to ease my anxiety. I really don't remember why. So I freaked out about the money, didn't know even how to apply for a student loan. Plus, it was 2 hours away, and I had fallen in love with this school and was so excited. And then the day before move-in day, I was like, it's 2 hours away. I've never been away from home before. Like, I had, but not like for college, not for like 4 years. And so I was just freaking out, and I emailed the dean, the administrator, people guy, and whatever. I think it was just one dude. And it was like, due to financial and personal issues, I regret to inform you that I will not be able to attend. And he's like, okay, we'll hold your spot for a year. And then the following year, I was working minimum wage at McDonald's and married to a local boy who, local as in from my hometown, who I think I did a spiel in another video. So go look for that. Go give me views. Looking for that story. But my marriage at 19, less than a year after graduating high school, did not end well. For some people it does. Some lucky people who make it work. I couldn't. He was 6.5 years older than me. There were a lot of very, very valid reasons why that marriage should have and did end. So life happened, and the books got put on the back burner. I didn't go to college. I didn't get my English degree. I didn't get accepted into a fancy newspaper or magazine. I didn't have any publishing contacts to make, applying for agents easier. I did apply during college, but I either got nothing or I got rejection letters, which usually didn't explain at all why they didn't want the book. There was nothing in these. They were very brief, very polite, but very formal, and there was just nothing in them that said, "Hey kid, your book sucks." That's kind of how I took it. So I was in this weird middle ground of my book must suck, so it's not ever getting published, so I'm gonna forget about it. And also, well, maybe my book doesn't suck and they have their max amount of people clients, or I'm too young and they don't want to sign a teenage author, so I should wait a few years. But they didn't actually tell me it sucked, so I'm not going to edit it. I was stupid. I was a stupid kid. And then life happened, and years passed, and I just became more and more scared of releasing it to the wild. And then I met my wonderful, amazing fiance. We've been together almost 3 years. We're getting married in October, a month after my book comes out, so just this fall is going to be crazy and hectic and amazing. But I met him, and his sister is kind of my role model. She's an English teacher. She's an author. She put her book on Amazon, and among all of the other inspiring things that I love her for and look up to her because of, her putting her book on Amazon after we met was this huge inspiration and boost to my confidence. Like, okay, I don't need an agent. I can do this myself, and maybe it'll sell and maybe it won't, but at least I will know that I did it, and I got it out there, and I can be proud of that if nothing else. Turns out I wasn't actually okay with all of that, but it was a good first step to get me where I was going. Okay, maybe not a good one, but it was a necessary step for me. So what came out was this awkward thing. I'm still rather proud of this, and a few people did buy it. A couple of friends from high school, a couple of relatives, and a few random people from the internet, whose names I do not know. Thank you for buying my book, like 2 years ago. So I took this photo on my iPhone. I built the cover in, it's basically create a cover, on the Kindle Amazon publishing page, and I knew nothing about formatting, and it looks terrible. I don't know if you can see that. The margins are all fucky, and it literally is the size of a textbook, and there are page numbers. I was thinking for a while that I'd forgotten page numbers too. But this book was not a good book. It had potential, but it was not a good book. Actually, one of the books, because I did all three at the same time, which was another brilliant move on my part. In Create a Cover, the spine text got deleted, and I found no way at all to re-add it. I will go over a formatting video some point in the future with KDP, but for right now, I'm just bitching and explaining to you why I unpublished these god-awful things. But yeah, the spine text. None. It's not there. It's blank. And, so, yeah, not great. And the thing was, I got it out there. I was proud of myself. It sold a few copies. That was a boost to my confidence and everything. But the more I got feedback from family members, some of them were overtly kind, almost to the point where I think they were lying. But some of them were a little more honest, or maybe the first batch really did enjoy it, and the second batch just had higher standards. I don't know. I'm not saying anyone was actually lying, but let's be real, these were not good books. Maybe they could just see past it. Maybe they were just more forgiving readers. I don't know. But the more I got feedback, and the more I started studying the industry, because I really knew nothing about it. I had barely been able to scrape together query letters for these agents back in high school, so I knew nothing about the system. But I figured with the book out on the interwebs, it was time that I started doing research, and between that and the feedback, I came to the conclusion that these books had a really awesome concept, and I was a good writer. I compared myself to other writers. I had other people compare me to other writers, and I have talent. Maybe not everyone would agree, but I am at least able to articulate my thoughts and be descriptive, and I know my way around the written word, even if I'm not, Shakespeare. I'm okay. I can get the thing done. So I came to the conclusion that my books had potential, and I did not want to give up on them. But that in the state that they were in, it was not fair to customers, it was not fair to me as the author, it wasn't fair to the book and the characters and the story. We all deserved better. Between the formatting and the cover art and the margins, and I guess that's part of formatting, and I had also written it from multiple points of view, so it would jump from character to character, and that was something that didn't really mesh well with me. I loved it when I was writing it, but later on it was just too confusing as I was rereading it. I also didn't get a professional editor. I really didn't edit it myself. I had created a habit of not needing to edit my high school papers for English very much. I got very, very few red marks on my papers, because I just naturally had a knack for doing well with grammar and punctuation and spelling and all of that. So I really had enough confidence that when my book got signed to a publisher, they would do a professional edit. I assumed that was a thing that they did, and it wouldn't need that much, and it'd be fine. And I knew nothing about story editing. I just kind of figured once the book was done, it was done, and either it was good or bad. It's clearly not the case, but I didn't know that. And so I just threw my book out there as it was, because I'm an idiot. And no amount of no amount of deprecating humor can take away from the fact that I was an idiot. This doesn't have to be the part where you laugh with me. You can laugh at me. I was stupid in doing what I did. But with my anxiety, I stand by the decision that I made. I put the book out there, and if I hadn't, I would not have started this journey. Would not have. I know myself, and I just would not have had the courage to continue on or even get started. So, what was a bad move was also kind of the only move available to me at the time. So, I unpublished the book. I went on to KDP, clicked unpublished, and I will do a video some other time about how to do that. It is a pain in the ass, and not fun. But, so what I did was I took them off of the internet, made them no longer available. I never really had gotten into marketing them, and I got beta readers, and I designed a cover, and I learned about formatting and marketing and photo shoots and book trailers and all of this crazy stuff, and that is the journey that I am on now. With this book, I even changed the title of the novel. And I hacked the word count by half, I think. It's now just, it's like 59.5, I think. It's just under 60,000 words. And so this is the beautiful finished product. It will be coming out in September. And that is why, and more or less how, I unpublished and am republishing my book. A little crazy, a little wild, and unfortunately, at least on surface level, kind of sketchy, but I think it deserves a second chance. And very, 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 very few people bought the book, so much so that I think I could use one hand, if not just two hands, counting the number of people that bought my book, and most of them I knew. So I really don't feel like I'm cheating anybody out of the story. They're like, well, I bought the original and it wasn't as good, now you're charging for... No one bought the book, guys. No one bought the book. So I feel fine with that. I'm just sort of starting from scratch now. But that is a thing that I did, and I wish it had gone differently. But I'm proud that I'm able to give this book a second chance. And hopefully it goes better this time, and it sells, and it's appreciated. And if not, at least this time I know I did everything I could. I poured money into it, I poured time into it and effort. I researched how to get this done the correct way, and even took like online classes on how to do some of this stuff, and built networks of people who knew how to do this stuff. And even if the book totally tanks and everyone thinks it's awful, I know that I gave it its best shot. So I can live with that. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!